A quick video on how to make your novels into audio file, into audiobook essentially. I use several different software for that, and I'm gonna go through all of them. The first one is Balabolka. All of the software I'm gonna use, and they're all free to use. I forgot where I downloaded it from. It's been a long time since I downloaded this, but I think the first one is fine, right? You can go through them, see what's safe. They all should be safe, essentially. Just don't. Usually, when you download a file, there's gonna be make sure see because sometimes they ask you if you want to download this as well, and always be uncheck that. Always uncheck that and look through what you're actually downloading. So so first one is Balabolka. It's a text-to-speech software. So what it does when you post the file, this is what it is. When you post the file, it will convert that file, the text, into an audio file. And if you want a perfect, my pictures I two in my ratings as one, this is perfect. It's a little bit faster than it is because if you're going to use the actual speed, it's going to be like in a robot kind of sound voice. But if you're going to speed up just a little bit, it's going to read actually quite nicely. And I use the David voice, of course, and we're going to go through it as well. So the next software you're going to need, and that is EPUB to PDF. So you can use the software online. This is the online, and I believe it was the second one. Yeah, it was the second one. Once you type EPUB to PDF, and you can just use the online version to download. I mean, to convert the EPUB into PDF, or you can actually download the software, which I use, which is a lot much useful for me. I've been enjoying a lot more. So this is the software. Again, I don't remember which software I downloaded. You can go through them and find whatever is good for you. I believe it was the first one again. And now the third one is called the fourth one is called Audacity. This is another free to use software, and this is a good one because not only will it convert the file from WAV into MP3, but it will also compress the file. And the good thing about audiobooks is that you will not lose any quality when you compress. If it goes to music, if it comes to music, you probably lose some quality. But when it comes to just a straight up audiobook, I don't see any kind of difference in quality. So let's start from the beginning. I'm gonna go ahead step by step. What do I do? First, you want to find the EPUB file of the novel you want to read. I use this website called asiannovel.com, and I use several more. So if they don't have it, but you can always type it in Google and then whatever name of the novel and followed by EPUB, and there's gonna be a bunch of websites where you can download it from. So I'm on this website asiannovel.com. I posted the novel I wanted to download, and let's see if they have it. They have it obviously, but I want to go ahead through all the steps, and bam, it's the number one right there. I've been thinking about reading this novel. Let's see. So you have EPUB files, and you might be thinking, oh great, there's already PDF files. However, these PDF files are kind of annoying to deal with because there's a lot of extra text and dots and page numbers and everything. You're gonna have to go by hand and delete all of them, and it's a pain in the ass to deal with it. So I just go for PDF. It's so much better that way. So I want to download chapter 1 to 200. Bam. It's gonna ask you here for a code. Make sure you're not a robot. You might have to enter that code 5, 10 times to make it work. Sometimes it's just annoying. So yeah, then you download it. You download the file. I downloaded this like 5 or 6 times by now because that's how many times I make the video, and I keep messing it up. So now it is in a PDF format. You can use a PDF reader, which I have on my phone, and I have it on here as well. I don't use it anymore. I used to use it because these days I don't really have enough time to sit down to read. I'm on a subway on my way to work, so I will go ahead and I will just make it into audio file, and I will be listening to it on the subway. Sometimes I even listen to it at work because I most of the times I work overnight, and it's just perfect. There's nobody there to bother you, and I'll be listening to like the whole night nothing but some kind of awesome Xuanhuan novel. I probably pronounced it that wrong. So now that we downloaded the file, EPUB file, 200 chapters, what is next? Next is to convert it into a PDF file, right? So you can use, like I said earlier, you can use PDF reader, but PDF reader they always go page by page. I wasn't able to find a good PDF reader that I can just select everything, copy at once. So to step that process, I just convert into to PDF. EPUB files. Oh, that's all my videos on the OBS videos that I've been messing around with before. So where's the file? It's right here. We just go ahead and take the fourth one, and it's here. It's loading up. You can click right away, or you can wait till it's loaded. It's up to you. I'm gonna go right away. So once it's done, it's gonna start downloading. Or you can use the software. I want to show you that you have options. And so here it's the same exact process. You click on browser, you click on down. Oh no, in this particular case, you do it like this. You go to your download file, you go ahead and you some file have been included on this file. Oh yeah, I already have all of this here. Let me delete all. Bam, because I have the same file I was messing around with. And then you just go click on start and it's gonna start converting. So I already did that, so I'm not gonna do that again. I have it here, as you see. I practiced a couple times because I was making this video a couple times. Now that we have done with this, same, I have 200 chapters of this novel, right? Same thing here. It's conversion complete. It's gonna go ahead and add it here. As you can see, now it's downloading a PDF format. It's no longer in EPUB format. It's now in a PDF format, and majority of you might not even have a EPUB reader. So this way, it works perfectly for you too. If you have, that's great. But if you don't, but EPUB readers is just sometimes pain to deal with them because you have to go page by page copy and click. So now that is downloading, I already had downloading. I already have multiple open ones, so I'm gonna close this one. We don't need it. Now you're gonna go here. This is where the chapters at, and you just go ahead. How many chapters you want down? I want to download 20 chapters. You come here to the end. You press Shift. You hold your Shift. You scroll back down to how much text you want to copy. Now I usually do 20 chapters because I let it go my finger too early. There we go. You hold the Shift. We come back here. We come back here. Copy. Now I usually only do 20 chapters. I only want around 4 to 5 hours because anytime I do more, let's say I do 8 hours, the audio file would mess it up because it keep thinking that the audio shorter than it is. So you'll be actually have at 8 hours, but you still there will be still audiobook continue going because I don't know, for some reason the audiobook audio files end at 8 hours. So now that we copy this, you don't want to straight away post this into your text converter because you have all these ends. And once you post this into your Balaboka or into your text converter, it will be thinking that the sentence ends right there. So we want to get rid of all of those brackets, all of those end sentences. So we just use old-fashioned Google Chrome. We post it in our Google Chrome search, and we go ahead and we copy it again or cut it. It's up to you. Now all of the brackets, everything ended, and the sentences will be ending at the periods at the end of the sentence how they're supposed to be, right? Which is perfect. So now we have 20 chapters worth of text here. What is next? In Baboka, it's a text-to-speech converter. Next, we want to convert this into audiobook. We click it here. It's gonna ask you where you wanted to save it. I save it on my desktop. It's just convenient that way. I already did the file, but I already saved it a couple times, but I want to go ahead and save it again. Now you want to name it something. Obviously we want to name something. Okay, so again, I'm gonna also show you why. Like you see how the sentence ends here, right? But I copied the whole thing. If I post it here right now, it will not read the last part. As you can see, there we go. It didn't really read this past. Same thing gonna happen in you once you read it now because it thinks that that's where the sentence ends, even though it doesn't. We're gonna copy in Google Chrome again. Copy that. Go back to Balabolka, and it is 20 chapters. And now all of those 20 chapters are converted into an audio file. It's going to take a little bit of time. I'm sure there's better software for this. I just like this one because I've been using it for a while and it's free to use, which is perfect for me. I don't want to pay for anything, but I'm sure there's a lot better one that once you pay for, there usually are. So now that this file is converting into an audio file, it will not be saved as an MP3. It's going to be saved as WAV file. Your phones and usually every single audio software usually can able to read them, But I tend to convert them MP3 is just much better for me, and that's going to be the next step after this. So it's going to take a couple minutes for us to convert this file into an audiobook and pretty much make this 20 chapters so we can listen to them. And I will show you actually I might even show you right now that the quality is it's decent. It's an audiobook essentially. And it's gonna be by this voice. David, you can also select this Zurita, whatever her name is, the girl voice. The guy voice sounds somewhere a lot deeper, and it's like you listen to like a It's actually not bad when you adjust the speech rate and everything. It doesn't sound like a robot. Maybe I've been so used to it, that's why I'm not hearing it anymore like a robot voice. But uh, before, when I had it the regular set at 00, it was sounding like like a robot voice, and I didn't really like that at all. So it's almost done. Come on, couple. There we go. So now we have an audio file. We don't longer need this. You can go ahead and close this up. I'm gonna close all this up. We don't need this. I'm gonna close this up too. So now I have 20 chapters right here, right? I'm gonna go ahead and click on it.
Chapter 1 Source.
It
Important
is
report I am a very good
5
person.
hours
I
and
am a good
22
person.
minutes.
It's very
Oh,
strange.
you guys can hear it
Everybody
perfectly,
clearly
so you
knows
guys.
that I am a good person, a good law-abiding citizen.
There we go. There's. I don't want to go through this whole thing, but you can hear it's a normal audiobook sounding. So now if you can see on the size, it's almost 600 megabyte. That is more than a half of a gigabyte. That is so much space. That's way too much space for us. What I usually do is that I compress the file. Also, it's not an MP3 file, as you can see. For a type of file, WAV file. We're gonna also convert an MP3, and this is where the Audacity come in that I was talking about earlier. And that is this software that you want to download. You might have to download an extension for it for MP3. Used to, when I download this, I had to download the extension from Wiki that would allow me to convert in a PDF in the PDF format. I mean, an MP3 format. Maybe now they already added it to it. I'm not sure, but hopefully they already added it to it, and you don't have to download. If not, then you can always go ahead and find the extension, download it, install it, and you'll be able to download if you don't have this option. So now we inside Audacity, what option was talking about is that when you click on file and you click on export, it's going to be export as MP3, right? So what do? We take this file, we drop it in our Audacity software, and now it's gonna load this thing up really quickly. It's gonna give you option where you want to copy and save the file so it doesn't get corrupted or anything. I never had a single file that got corrupted unless I was doing multiple files. When I was converting multiple files, that's when it get corrupted. So I suggest you to do one at a time. Then we go here, we export it, export as mp3. Again, it's going to ask you where to save it, but the good thing about this, it will once you download Audacity, it will automatically create a folder inside your documents, and it's going to be named Audacity, so you don't even have to do anything. It's going to make it does for you, you know. And then you just click save and save again. You can press don't show that again, but I like to see that just in case, you know. And now we are converting this file into the mp3, but we're not only converting mp3, we're also compressing the file. And I was saying earlier that uh, usually you lose quality when you do this. When you compress a file, you lose some quality, but that only applies to like really heavy like music, like when there's a lot of different music notes and stuff, right? Like actual music or videos or whatever you mess around, then you start losing quality. But when it comes to a straight up audiobook, you don't lose any quality. There's no difference whatsoever, you know. It's the same exact sound, everything sounds exact same. You don't lose no quality. And I will show you again at the end of this, at the end of this process. So now we are about to convert this, compress and convert this file as well, which is going to be in a final form. Come on, we ready? There we go, it's done. So now we go to Audacity. Where is our Audacity folder? I save it here. You can always save it here, and the way to do that, you just click Audacity, you just go ahead and pick the folder, and you just put right there wherever you want, and it's going to be there forever. So bam. And we have, as you can see, we have the file here. Click on it.
Chapter 1 Source. Important
Same
report I
exact
am.
same sound. You have 522. You don't lose nothing. Everything's there for 5 hours and 22 minutes, which is perfect. You don't want to cross that 8 hours or even 7 hours, because once you go into this territory, the audio file gonna be glitching and it's gonna be thinking the audio is a lot shorter than it actually is. You know. So also, as we can see here, this is the an original form, and this is a compressed form, and you can compare the differences. As you can see, it's 122 28 megabytes. That is 522 5 hours and 22 minutes file, and you compress it into 128 megabytes, which is perfect. This way you can put it on your phone and you can listen to it instead of this ginormous file right there, and you can put multiple of them, you know. And so what you no longer need this here. You can create yourself another folder like what I do, and you just go to novels. And as you can see, I've been listening to a lot of novels, and then I just post it here. It's already there, so I'm going to replace it because like I said, I did this a couple of times. So there we go. Those are all of the steps for your how to convert any of the novels. I do the same thing when it comes to when I was going to school and they give me a book to read. So what I do is that I just download this book in ebooks, and you're gonna have an ebook. Almost all of the books have ebooks. I mean, especially if they're old ones that they do in school, give you in school, they're gonna be an ebook for it. And what I do is that I will convert it and make it into audio file, and I will just listen to it this way. It's perfect. Even though I prefer reading it, because when you read it, you're like 100% of your concentration is in the book, but when you listen to it, sometimes you don't pay attention, something's happening, and you look at somewhere and you miss something, you have to go back. But when you're reading it, but the point is just that I don't have enough time to read, like you're always in a move or something. So I just listen to it a lot, and I've been getting into the whole listening a lot recently. So yeah, that's it. Those are all the steps. I'm gonna go ahead and try to post all of this names of this website under the video whenever I upload it. If I forgot, you still have the names here. Like I say, you Google it, and the first thing that come up for this one, I believe it was the second thing. Yeah, it was the second one. It's online one, and this one, if you don't want the online one, you can always download the software for it. And then Audacity, it's a pretty big software. It has its own website. The other ones don't really have their own website. Well, this one has it. This one doesn't have it, and the Audiobook doesn't have it. They're kind of small software, but they're really useful software. So yeah, that's it. That's the video on how to make any of your Xuanhuan novels, I'm probably pronouncing that wrong, into an audiobook. Let me end this video.